Hello everyone, this is v.37, or a Suh dude, as I may go as in other games, and excuse me. I kind of want to just get thrown in right here. There is a new update that just came out for this game. Um, I just watched the opening video on it, should have gotten it recorded, but I actually didn't think about it till it was slightly too late. So, yeah, we're going to do some PvP. Paragon. Very new to this game. I'm terrible. Just awful. So, the only character I really know anything about is Gideon. I kind of understand the how the game works. I played a little bit of League of Legends when I was younger. Not very much. My friend had me play it a little bit. I liked um, the whole competitive feel, how it's a small 5v5 or something like that kind of deal where you have to work together with your teammates, depending on, what kind of character you are. If you're a tank, if you're, like a support character, something like that. You have to kind of work with your teammates, kind of know your character. And I'm really bad at learning these kind of things, but I do very much enjoy playing the game. So we're hopefully gonna get Gideon on this, just because that's the best character that I know. So the game isn't gonna be too much of my focus. I was hoping on this. I was actually, well, it's gonna be a large focus, but a lot of it I'm hoping is gonna be discussion. Now, I've recently kind of decided that I want to maybe do a few videos, kind of figure out how it goes for me. I'm not best public speaker or anything like that, but I do think I have, a good set of opinions on most things, and I feel like I'm fairly intelligent, so I can give you guys a good understanding of how I feel about things. And yeah, so we're just recently ran into a where I have a lot of time on my hands now. Trying to get a job, moved over to Madison, Wisconsin, which is pretty cool. It's not too bad. I actually just recently also lost my car due to overheating it and, fucking up the engine a little bit, which is great because, the car before that I had actually was a decent little car that probably would have lasted me a while, but I ended up getting T-boned by a drunk lady driving through downtown La Crosse, which is, most people aren't going to know where La Crosse is. It's actually a small city, or, yeah, I guess you could call it a city. It's a small city, and it is just east of the Mississippi River, kind of southeast in Wisconsin. But the one thing they're kind of known for is having the most bars on one road, which is actually it's 35, and then I think it runs into, it's Highway 35 that runs into I think it's 3rd Street, or is it? I think it is 3rd Street, La Crosse. That might be a little bit wrong, because I'd never really paid too much attention to the roads in La Crosse, because they're pretty confusing, just being a lot of weird one-ways and whatnot. But yeah, most bars on one road. I was actually going down that road and got T-boned by a drunk lady. No surprises, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I honestly shouldn't have been driving down that way, but that was probably kind of just an instinct. I was kind of getting it on some bars, if you know what I mean. And I feel like I was in a safe position to drive, but the other person was not. And everybody has different opinions on this kind of stuff. And honestly, I was upset, but I can't necessarily be mad at her for making that decision, because a lot of people do that. And I can be upset, but it's not going to get me anywhere, unfortunately. That's, kind of how I like to look at things, you know, just kind of let things go for the most part. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has their problems, you know. It's not like anybody's mostly out to get anybody. It's that's kind of how I've come across most of the stuff in my life. But yeah, so I ended up having to get a different car, and it was not the nicest car, I would say. It was a '99 Saab 93. Now it was a nice car. Don't get me wrong. It was luxury. Had a turbo. Good car to drive around daily. It was you know, one of those vehicles where it's got lower end torque. It's really good daily car, pretty much, and I enjoyed it a lot. I had a nice sound system in there. I had a 10-inch Pioneer, or no, 10-inch Kicker and a 12-inch Pioneer on a, I believe, like 250 amp, which is really low powered, but it sounded good. I was really more for how well it sounded, and doing really poor this game so far. I kind of have to focus on, you know, kind of minions, but yeah, so I ended up destroying that car because I'm an idiot. Well, not entirely. The story kind of goes as I picked it up from a shop after I had redone my rear brake assembly. I actually had the shop do the brake line for me because I couldn't do it myself. And basically, on the way home, I was driving the car and noticed way too late, since I hadn't been driving the car for a couple weeks at that point, that the heat gauge was way high. Pulled off to the side of the road, turned off the car. Long story short, basically just destroyed the car, and it's not worth it to fix it, so I'm trying to sell it to my buddy for pretty cheap. But now I'm here in Madison. Don't have to worry too much about a vehicle right now because, you know, Madison, everything, I'm living downtown, so everything is pretty close. I can walk if it's winter, or take the bus, you know, or I also have a longboard. I like to, definitely like to longboard a lot. It's kind of one of my, kind of one of my passions, I guess. And, yeah, kind of looking forward to what's going on with that. You know, there's trying to get a small job for now, figure out what we're gonna do. I'm actually living with my girlfriend now, which was kind of a big step for me, but I feel like I know her really well, so I feel like it's not kind of the craziest thing considering we've only been together for 7 months. Now, I have dated her before, so I definitely know who she is for the most part. And, you know, it's kind of one of those situations where, you know, I had a whole bunch of things that were going really badly for me. Like, I could have, you know, pitied myself because of these things, you know, losing my car, which was my fault, but wasn't necessarily my fault either, because there's, you know, a lot of factors that go into those kind of things, and it was a lot to do with the radiator, and I wasn't even aware, but, you know, because I do a lot of the fixes and stuff on my vehicles by myself, which I've kind of veered away from now. I'm going to do the smaller things by myself, but take the cars for the bigger things to the shops, just because a lot of the time spent on my back just isn't worth, you know, learning necessarily how to do it and stuff like that, because in the end, I'm probably going to be taking a car down the line to a shop anyways, because I'm going to be working most of the time and have other things going on in my life that I don't want to necessarily take out to do that. Now, I also do want to have a shop of my own, but that's that I would be doing everything by myself, because a lot of that takes equipment that is super expensive, and it's kind of hard to get in that position unless you have, you know, a really good paying job and a lot of time on your hands almost with that paying job. But and I'm about to get fucked up because this bitch thinks she's cool. Come at me. I need to fucking go back to the... I totally skipped buying cards. If anybody is yelling at me at this point, I'm yelling at myself. It's been so long. That's hilarious. Yeah, so things have been going not so great for me, but I honestly feel like there's a reason, and I decided that I should come here and pursue, different opportunities in medicine rather than lacrosse, which is where I was living before. And G, I believe, opens up the. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna stick with the auto equip is enabled. I want manual off. Okay. So that was kind of the worst setup you could ever ask for just then. I kind of fucked that shit up. But it's okay. We're still in the game. We're not too far behind some of the people, I believe. Yeah, we're about where we should be. But yeah. So I decided, I love YouTube. I spend a lot of my time on YouTube, and I think it's a really good outlet for people. I think it's a really good way for people to communicate. I think it's a really good way for people to make money. That's not anywhere near my goals right now. I mean, that would be great, but honestly, I just kind of want to play some games and have some discussions and just see where it takes me. But and so I thought I'd do that, and I thought I'd come to Madison and see where that takes me. I wanna be an electrician, pretty much. I was looking at going to lineman school, but I'm kind of figuring it out that it might not necessarily work for me right now. So maybe I'll do something like an apprenticeship for an electrician or something along those lines. Can we get this guy here? Oh, Wrecked City. All right. That was actually played decently. Oh, and this is going really poorly. That was a really, really bad move on my part. Oh, I think I'm gonna live though. Wow, so that was really close. Wow, that was a really poor choice to stay in there like that. I should have, and I'm playing by myself, which is also not a great idea for this character. We're gonna go back to the I don't even know what it's called. We'll find out. I don't even know. Let's see here. We're gonna get some damage, because that sounds like a good idea. Pop back over on the left side here. But yeah, I like to look at life like, everything is kind of an opportunity. Even though, I feel like I had a decent job. I was actually a low voltage electrician. I felt like when I actually got fired. So I felt like, I was kind of betrayed in a way, because I like to pride myself on working hard and, doing, what, in a workplace, what the boss would like for you to do. Some people are, have the idea where, we got to take it slower on some things, or you want to try and get things done in a certain way so that it's, the way that they like it. Now, that might not be the way that you like it, and that's kind of a big thing with our world is, if it's like a corporate kind of deal, what they do might be slower, say, or, like, not as efficient of a way to do it in your eyes. These motherfuckers are just trying to gank me. But there's always, there's always just opinions on things that need to be done in corporate fashions, and, sometimes even smaller businesses, that, it's just because that's the way that they want to do it. And get wrecked, buddy. I should back off. But yeah, so I ended up getting fired for Pretty much what I was told was because they just found out that I was going to school. Now, I hadn't really decided whether I was going to fully be going yet or not, but it was kind of one of those things where, I was really hoping to go. So the fact that they fired me because of that, and I had told him, you know, when before he even hired me that I was going to be going to school in 2017, that was, already kind of a plan. I was on a waiting list, so like, I can always change my mind. It's not like anything that's crazy, but you know, it's it was something that I told him. And when he told me that, there was also some other things that he had said that was just kind of like, "Hey, dude, it feels like you're kind of lying to me." And I wasn't gonna call him out on that because I know honestly that he's kind of a dick, and that's kind of just how it goes with him. And maybe he was trying to be a good guy, and he just didn't want my work anymore and try and get rid of me with for that, for not like making me feel like I'm a poor worker, which he also kind of did, which is terrible. But I didn't really take that personally, because I know that I work hard for the most part, and I and I'm kind of one of those people that's like, hey, if I'm not doing real things, I'm kind of bored. Like if I'm just sitting around doing nothing, I'd rather be doing anything. I gotta be whipping off the table, even if that's not really my job, which that wasn't, you know. But I'd rather be working along anything than nothing. And that really sucked, got me kind of down. But I really like to look at it like, hey, I just got fucked, by the way. Hey, these are opportunities. These are opportunities for me to take, and I've done a little bit of editing and stuff with videos, and I do know how to do it kind of, and I enjoy it. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a really good way to express yourself and other things like that. And yeah, I'm really kind of excited. Maybe I should focus on this game a little bit more. Here, we should probably do, since we just finished this one, we can do probably some health. We'll figure something out. They're kind of along the right side there, low health. I wonder if I can bob through the middle and catch him off guard, because we've got one tower there that's taken.